Welcome to yoga. I'm Liza, and you could join me live on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m., or you could catch my recordings on the Springfield College YouTube channel at any time. In our yoga practice today, we will focus on affirmations. Focusing on affirmations are a way to remind yourself of your goodness and to help you to cultivate those qualities within you. So, affirmations are not about feeling critical or judgmental when we may feel short of our affirmations, but to remind ourselves that our affirmations are who we are, even when we don't feel that way. So, an example of a positive affirmation could be a statement such as, I am calm and patient. I treat myself with unconditional kindness. Or I am strong and resilient. So, in our centering, I will guide you into choosing your own personal affirmation that feels right for you and allow that to be your guide and focal point of your practice. And we'll move into warm-ups and postures and relaxation. And our postures will include cross-lateral movements that will help to wake up the brain and prepare us for a new start in the new year. So make some space for yourself and find yourself in a comfortable seated position. And you're welcome to sit on a chair, on the floor, on cushions or blocks, in any position that allows you to sit tall and feel stable for a few minutes. So taking a moment to get comfortable and situated in your seat, resting the hands comfortably on the lap. And either invite the eyes to close or gaze very softly down towards the earth. Now we'll take a breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth with an audible sigh. Begin with a breath in through the nose. Exhale. Again, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And once more. Now keeping the mouth closed, breathe in and out through the nose. Sitting tall with a long spine, shoulders relaxed, belly soft. Feeling the weight of your body seated, sensing the earth beneath you. Begin to silence the mind and connect with the consciousness within your heart. And take a moment to search within your heart to find your affirmation. Reflecting on the positive qualities within you that you may wish to further cultivate or gain a new appreciation for in your yoga practice. And wording your affirmation in a way that is positive and feels right for you. And once you've settled on your affirmation, silently repeat your affirmation to yourself 3 times. And inviting this affirmation, these words, to become your focal point for your practice. And if at any time you find your mind wandering, bring your attention back to your breath, your body, and your own affirmation. And if any time during the practice of anything I'm guiding doesn't feel quite right to you, know that you're always very welcome to modify, do something different, take a rest. And now relaxing the arms by your sides, beginning to loosen the shoulders. As you next inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhaling, rolling the shoulders back and down. And again, inhale as you draw the shoulders up. Exhale as you roll the shoulders back and down, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. Beginning to let go of any tension or tightness that you may be holding in the upper back and shoulders. Coordinating this movement with your breath, and you're welcome to gaze softly or close the eyes, giving the eyes a little break from the screen and turning out any external distractions. And rolling the shoulders back once more and releasing the arms down. Relax the shoulders, broaden through the chest, lengthen through the head and the neck. And then we'll slowly turn the head from side to side. As you exhale, turning the head to look towards one shoulder. Inhale, slowly coming back to center, and then exhale, turning the head to the other side. Inhale, back to center. And once more, slowly turning the head from side to side. And making your way back to center. Now, if you're sitting on blocks or a cushion, you may want to move them off to the side. And bring yourself into a squatting position with the feet and knees hips width apart, resting the fingertips on the floor, keeping the heels lifted. And begin to shift your weight from the ball of one foot to the heel of the other as you turn the knees from side to side, beginning to loosen up the hips, giving a stretch to the legs. And moving once more from side to side. And now coming to center. And with the hands resting on the floor, we'll move into a forward fold. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, begin to straighten the legs as you release the crown of the head down towards the mat. Keeping a soft or deeper bend in the knees, relaxing the head and neck. And now clasp opposite elbows with the hands and gently sway the torso from side to side. And now return to stillness. Release the arms and bring the hands to the hips. And now press into the feet, pull the navel in towards the spine. And as you inhale with a long neutral spine, slowly make your way up to standing. Taking your time and taking a couple of deep breaths to allow yourself to adjust to standing. And then we'll move into loosening up and warming the spine a little bit more. So bring the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart. Bend the knees and bring the hands to rest above the knees. We'll move into a cat and dog movement for the spine from a standing position. So leaning forward, and on your next inhalation, tucking the chin towards the chest, rounding the spine into cat. And then take another breath and arch the back as you open the chest. And again, now exhaling, rounding the spine, bring the chin in. And then inhaling, lifting the tailbone, arching the back and gazing upward. Continue to move back and forth at the pace of your own breath. And moving once more in each direction. And return to a long neutral spine, still leaning forward. Now leaning forward about halfway until the spine is parallel to the floor, we'll prepare to move into a twist. So now dropping the right elbow to rest above your right knee, bringing your left hand to your left hip and twist through the spine, opening through the left side of the body, gazing upward. Breathe. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. And slowly releasing. And now resting your left elbow above the left knee, right hand comes to the right hip or lower back, and spiral open to this side, twisting and breathing. And exhale, coming back to neutral. Placing both hands on the thighs, press into the feet, long neutral spine, making your way back upright to standing. And heel toe and walk the feet hips width apart, standing tall. Relax your shoulders. On your next inhalation, lifting the arms up and overhead, reaching long through the fingertips, preparing now for a side stretch. So now bending the left knee as you reach the left arm overhead, stretching this side of the body, and then alternate and move to the other side. So reaching from side to side, moving at your own pace, lengthening one side of the body and then the other. And moving once more to each side. And returning to stillness with the arms overhead, planting the feet into the floor. Bringing the pelvis to a neutral position by lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back. Broaden through the chest and relax the shoulders down, reaching long through the fingertips overhead, keeping the head and neck in line with the spine. Chin is parallel to the earth. Standing tall in mountain pose. Now bring the palms together to touch. And as you exhale, slowly lower the hands down to prayer position in front of the heart. Close the eyes or gaze softly. Checking in to receive these warm-ups. Noticing what you're feeling in your body. Noticing perhaps if you feel a little warmer, a little looser. Once again, return your attention to your affirmation. Repeating your affirmation silently to yourself. And now releasing the hands to the hips and step the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart, moving into hip circles. Keeping the knees soft, begin to circle the hips, and you can make these movements large or small. And you can move slower or quicker. You may wish to move slower for a more meditative quality. That could be nice if you're practicing early in the morning. Or you can move a little bit quicker if you're feeling energetic. And now pause and reverse and take your circles in the opposite direction. And now begin to make the circles a little bit smaller and a little bit slower. And gradually finding your way back to stillness. Relaxing the arms by your sides. Relax the shoulders. We'll move into a standing lateral stretch. So now we'll place the hands on the hips and step your left foot behind the right, pressing at the ankle and planting the feet. And just taking a moment there to steady yourself. And if you're feeling very wobbly, if you prefer, you're welcome to keep the feet side by side as an alternative. So once again, standing tall, lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back. Broaden through the chest, relax the shoulders, and lengthen through the head and the neck, continuing to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Now releasing your left arm, and inhale as you lift that left arm up and overhead, and now stretching over to your right side. And now press your left hip slightly forward and out to the side. And there's no need to reach over as far as you possibly can, but come to a comfortable space where you feel a good sensation without any strain. As you continue to hold, if you feel a little bit more open and would like to stretch over a tiny bit more, you can. Or you can always back off and take a rest if that feels better. You're welcome to keep the hand on the hip or perhaps taking hold of the wrist overhead. So keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep lengthening through both sides of the torso, keeping your head and neck in line with the spine. And holding here for one more full deep breath. You like, come into your fullest expression, and then press into the feet, pull the navel to the spine, and slowly guide the torso back to center. Stepping the feet together, bringing the palms to touch. And now as you exhale, slowly lower the hands to the heart. Again, take a breath to receive. Notice how one side of the body feels in comparison to the other. Once again, returning to your affirmation. Release the hands to the hips. Prepare now for the other side. And step your right foot behind the left. Or keeping the feet next to each other. Getting yourself situated, standing tall. Release your right arm. Inhaling as you slowly lift that arm out to the side and then overhead. Coming into the side stretch here. Pressing the right hip slightly out to the side, a little bit forward. Keeping the chest lifted, shoulders relaxed, head and neck in line with the spine. And find a comfortable place to hold the stretch where any more would be too much and any less would not be enough. And if you're not quite sure, always err on the side that less is more. Keep the hand on the hip if you like, or take hold of the wrist overhead. On each inhalation, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, soften. And if you like, moving to your fullest expression for another breath. And now press into the feet, navel to spine. Inhale as you slowly make your way back to center. And stepping the feet together, both arms reach long overhead, relax the shoulders. And this time we'll lower the arms down by our sides. Exhaling, reaching long through the fingertips and slowly begin to lower the arms, turning the palms at shoulder height to face the floor. And gradually releasing the arms down by your sides. Relax the arms, allow the palms to face forward. Close the eyes or gaze softly and notice the sensations in the arms, hands, and fingers. Notice what you're feeling in your body and mind. And give the legs a release, giving a little shake to one leg and then the other. And coming back to stand in mountain pose, we'll move into a stretch for the arms, shoulders, and chest. Stand tall with the shoulders relaxed, arms resting by your sides. On your next inhalation, begin to lift the right arm overhead and place the right palm and the between the shoulder blades. And then with your left hand, gently guide the elbow towards center and back. Continue to stand tall with the shoulders relaxed, keeping the head and neck in line with your spine. Giving a stretch to the upper arm. And you may wish to stay in this version, taking hold of the elbow overhead. If you'd like to move a little bit deeper, releasing your left arm and internally rotate from the shoulder, turning that shoulder forward and then bending at the elbow and coming to reach the other hand. And if you are able to touch the fingertips, you could clasp the hands together behind the back. And if they don't reach, that's fine. You could take hold of your shirt or you could keep the arm overhead. So choose the variation that is accessible to you. Keep standing tall and breathing into the stretch, breathing into the sensations. So just notice where you feel the stretch, and this is a good practice to help open up the chest and shoulders. That's also a good practice for independence, because if you practice the stretch enough, you could reach and scratch every part of your own back. And if you ever have to wear a dress or item that zippers up in the back, you could do it all by yourself. And holding for another full breath if that's available to you. And now we'll prepare to slowly release. So gently letting go of the hands, straightening the arms. And you might end up with one or both arms overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the arms down. Again, relax the arms by your sides. Close the eyes or gaze softly. And just tune in with the arms. Notice what you're feeling. Does one side feel longer, lighter, heavier? Notice and receive these sensations with compassionate awareness. And now we'll prepare to balance it out, moving to the other side. So reaching your left arm out to the side and bend overhead. And bending at the elbow, placing the palm in between the shoulder blades. And with your opposite arm, take hold of the elbow, guiding the elbow towards midline and back. And again, you could choose to stay right here. Or if you like, releasing that right arm, internally rotate from the shoulder as you bend the elbow and see if you can touch the fingertips on this side. Sometimes you could reach on one side or not, and not the other, so it doesn't hurt to give it a try. And again, if the fingertips touch, you could see if you could walk the hands a little bit closer together. Other options are to take hold of your clothing or to continue to hold the elbow overhead. So keeping the feet planted into the earth, standing tall, lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Head and neck stays in line with the spine as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Noticing where you feel the sensations of the stretch. And see if you could send your breath into those spaces. Holding for another full breath. And on the next inhalation, slowly and gently releasing. Straightening the arms, either both arms overhead or one arm overhead, and then exhale as you slowly lower the arms down. And again, relaxing the arms. Notice the sensations through the chest, upper back, shoulders, down the length of the arms, through the wrists, the hands, the fingertips. Again, noticing how one side feels in relation to the other. Welcoming and receiving all sensation. And now give the arms a little shake. Give a shake to one leg and then the other. And next we'll move into warrior pose and variation. Before we get to warrior though, let's move into a standing squat. So we'll stand with the feet hips width apart, standing tall with the shoulders relaxed. And on your next inhalation, begin to bend the knees as if you were sitting back into a chair and release and bring the arms up to shoulder height, coming into a squat. And we'll move in and out of the squat a few times. On your next inhalation, straightening the legs and the arms. And then again, exhaling, bending into the knees, keeping the chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. Inhaling, straighten. And if you like, you could challenge yourself by lifting the heels, coming into a little bit of a balance here. And then exhale, lower the heels, bend into the knees again. You could hold the squat for a couple more breaths here. And then inhaling, straighten. Lifting the heels if you like, coming into a balance. Exhale down. And moving back and forth between the squat and the balance once more at your own pace, holding each posture as long as you like. And when you're ready to release the balance, returning the heels to the mat, bringing your palms together. And as you exhale, slowly lower the hands to prayer position in front of the heart. Returning to your affirmation. Now coming to step at the front of your yoga mat. Standing tall, relaxing the shoulders, hands in prayer position at the heart. And bringing the insides of the feet and the legs to touch. We'll come now to a variation of the squat. So bending into the knees. And now lifting the arms up and overhead. And preparing now for a twisting variation. Bringing your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And then twisting through the spine. And see if you could open through the chest, bringing the center of the chest to meet your thumbs. And stacking the arms so that the right elbow is directly above the left. Keeping your spine long, breathing. And in a moment, we'll prepare to step the left foot back and coming into a twisting lunge. So shift the weight into your right foot and then step or slide that foot back. Stepping your left foot back, just taking a little leap of faith. So keeping the feet hips width apart, the right knee is bent in line with the ankle. Keep rotating through the torso, breathing. Keeping the back heel lifted and pressing out through the heel to activate that back leg. One more breath here. And now keeping the legs in position as you next inhale, begin to release the twist, lifting the torso upright and bringing the hands to the hips. So again, making sure the feet are still hips width apart, and you could shorten your stance or slide the back foot closer to the rear of your mat for a deeper stretch. As we make our way now into Warrior One, dropping the tailbone down, lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back. Hips are squared forward. Pressing the thighs towards one another to create a sense of stability. And now on your next inhalation, releasing the arms, lifting the arms overhead and then bringing them wide apart and flex through the palms. Keeping a stretch through the arms, wrists, and fingertips. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Continue to breathe. And inhaling, bringing the arms overhead, and then exhale, lowering the hands down, coming into a lunge, and then stepping the back foot forward. Pressing into the feet, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale with a long neutral spine, making your way up to standing. Bringing the arms out to the side and overhead, and then lower the hands to the heart. Stand tall, relax the shoulders. Check in to receive the postures you've done so far. Noticing how one side of the body feels in comparison to the other. And we'll prepare to repeat those postures on the other side. So coming to stand once again at the front of your mat in a simple mountain pose with the shoulders relaxed. Bringing the hands to prayer position in front of the heart. Bringing the inside of the feet to touch. And bending into the knees. And bringing the arms overhead. And now we'll bring the right elbow to the outside of that left knee, coming into twisting prayer pose. Stacking the elbows, rotating through the spine. See if you could bring the center of the chest to meet the thumbs. Keep breathing. And in a moment, we'll prepare to step the right leg back, coming into the twisting lunge variation. So take a breath in, and then as you exhale, step or slide that right foot back. It's okay if you need to wobble, regroup, or come in and out of the pose to make your way there. Keep pressing through the back heel, keeping that heel lifted off the floor. Holding here for a couple more breaths. And then we'll release from this pose and make our way into Warrior One. So begin to lift the torso upright, bringing the hands to the hips. The front knee remains deeply bent. Back heel is lifted, adjusting your stance. Hips are squared forward. Lengthen through the abdomen and the lower back and press the thighs towards one another. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Release the arms, and now this time, bringing the arms just below shoulder height, flexing through the hands, pressing the fingertips back. Varying the position of the arms to help stretch different fibers of the chest muscles. keeping the chin parallel to the earth and breathing. One more full breath here. And then inhaling, bringing the arms up and overhead. And exhaling, hinge forward, bringing the hands down to frame the front foot, coming into a high lunge. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, stepping the back foot forward into a forward fold, releasing the crown of the head. Press into the feet, bring the hands to the hips, navel to spine. Inhale as you slowly hinge up to standing. Bringing the arms out to the side and overhead, and then exhaling, bringing the hands to the heart. Close the eyes, gaze softly. Releasing the arms. We'll go up here next to move into a balance. So if you'd like to practice your balance pose near where you could hold onto a wall, you're welcome to position yourself. And you could practice holding the wall and then letting go. Coming into balance, it could be helpful to find a focal point, something that you could fix your gaze on that isn't moving to help you to balance. And also keeping the breath flowing smoothly and keeping the mind clear will also help you to find stability. So we're going to move into crane and then we'll come into a few other balancing variations. So I'll offer you a challenge of practicing a couple of balancing postures on one leg, but if you need to, you can always take a break in between the poses. So begin by standing tall in your mountain pose. We'll prepare to balance first on the right leg. So begin to press the inside and the outside of that right foot evenly into the floor, strengthening that leg, and coming onto lifting the heel of your left leg, coming onto the ball of the foot. So finding your focal point, gazing softly. And on your next inhalation, extend the arms out to the side, keeping the shoulders, elbows, and wrists soft and slightly bent as we prepare for crane pose. And as you're ready, lifting the left foot off the floor as you bend the knee, lifting the knee to the height of the hip. So if you remember Karate Kid, this is kind of like Karate Kid pose. Keep breathing here, keep the shoulders relaxed. And if you're near a wall, you're welcome to take hold of the wall and then let go and challenge your balance. You can always put your foot down and come back into the pose. And now we'll move into a variation. So if you'd like, you could bring both feet to the floor, regroup, or you could remain in balance here. And now bringing your right hand across, taking hold of your left knee, preparing for a twist. And now straighten the opposite arm. And now as you exhale, find a new focal point as you look over to the left side, extending the arm away from you, opening the chest and breathing. One more breath here. And then exhaling, slowly unwinding, bringing the hands to the hips. And now straighten the left leg out in front of you, flexing through the foot and breathing. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, you could try to lift that foot a little bit higher on each breath. And then exhaling, slowly lowering down. And standing on both feet, relax the arms, close the eyes or gaze softly. And again, tuning into the legs and noticing the difference in sensations. And again, receiving these postures with patience and acceptance. Now giving a little shake to your right leg. Shake out the other leg. And now we'll prepare for the other side. So we'll prepare to balance now on the left leg. So standing tall, relaxing the shoulders, find your focal point. Begin to shift the weight into your left leg as you lift the right heel off the floor, coming onto the ball of the foot. And as you're ready, extending the arms out to the side. Keeping the joints soft and relaxed. As you're ready, lifting the knee. And now bringing your left hand across to the right knee. And straighten your right arm. And exhaling, beginning to twist the torso to the side. And extending that arm out towards the wall behind you. Finding a new focal point, breathe. And if you lose your balance, you could just smile, laugh at yourself, and come back into the posture. One more breath here. On your next inhalation, slowly unwinding, bringing the torso back to center. Bring the hands to the hips. And now straighten and extend that right leg in front of you, flexing through the foot. Keeping the hips level, shoulders relaxed, breathe. And then exhaling, slowly lower that leg down. Relax the legs, relax the arms. Just receiving your posture with compassion, maybe a little humility. And if any feelings of criticism come up for you, see if you could replace them with curiosity and compassion. Reminding yourself still of your affirmation. Give a little shake to one leg and then the other. And we'll prepare to head towards the floor, gradually making our way onto our bellies for a back bending posture. So begin by standing in mountain pose with the feet hips width apart. We'll move through a half sun salutation. Inhaling as you slowly bring the arms out to the side and overhead, bringing the palms to meet. And then as you exhale, extend the arms to T position at shoulder height, hinging forward, relaxing into your forward fold. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lifting halfway so the spine is parallel to the earth. And then exhaling, soften forward. Relax the crown of the head. And now stepping one knee back and then the other, lowering yourself down into a table position onto the hands and knees. And from table, we'll move into child. So resting the tops of the feet on the floor, keep the hips lifted and slide the arms forward. Relax the chest down towards the earth. And you're welcome to allow the head to hover, or you could bring the head to meet the mat if that would feel comfortable. Hips remain lifted above the knees as you relax into puppy. And from puppy pose, we will make our way onto our bellies to come into Sphinx for our back bend. So the elbows are on the mat. Take a breath in and out. And as you next inhale, begin to straighten the legs as you bring the torso forward so that the Elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Bringing the feet close together, tops of the feet rest on the earth. Press out through the feet, engage the legs, pressing the pubic bone down towards the mat and moving the navel towards the spine. Press the elbows gently towards the rib cage to open up through the chest. So make sure the shoulders aren't hunching, but draw the shoulders down away from the ears as you broaden through the chest. Keep lengthening through the head and the neck, gazing at the floor, a couple of feet ahead of your mat. You may wish to close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. And holding Sphinx pose for another full deep breath. And now we'll slowly release as you exhale, slowly lowering the head and the chest to the mat, placing one hand on top of the other to rest the forehead. Soften the legs, give the hips a little shake from side to side. And next we'll move into a belly down spinal twist. Begin by placing the forehead or chin on the mat and open up the arms at shoulder height, palms are facing the mat. Press the pubic bone into the mat. Now bending your left knee, bringing the left toes in the air. On your next inhalation, shifting onto the right side of the torso. Lifting the head and neck and then lowering down and resting the right side of the head on the mat. And bringing your left foot to the opposite side of the mat and then bringing the foot to rest on the floor somewhere near the opposite hand. Knee is still pointing upward. And slide the fingertips of your left hand a little further away from you to deepen the stretch in the arm and shoulder. Breathing deeply here, and you could keep the heel lifted or you can release the heel to the floor. Keep breathing, making any adjustments for comfort. Now we'll prepare to slowly release. On your next inhalation, gradually begin to straighten that left leg, sliding the toes along the floor to the bottom of your mat. Slowly bringing the feet side by side, and then very gently rolling back onto the belly. Placing one hand on top of the other to rest the forehead. Soften through the body, taking a breath here to receive the stretch. Receiving the energy and sensations of this posture. Noticing how one side of the body feels in relation to the other. Noticing where in your body you can most sense the impact of the posture. And preparing now for the other side. So bringing the arms once again to T position, palms are facing the floor. And now bending your right knee. Toes are in the air, and now begin to lift the right knee as you roll onto the left side of the torso, bringing your left side of the head to the mat. And the right knee remains pointing upward as you plant the right foot somewhere near the opposite hand along the floor. And slide the right fingertips a little bit further away to give a stretch to the arm and shoulder. So making any adjustments for comfort here. Keeping your left leg straight and long. Breathing deeply, see where you could relax and soften a little bit more into the stretch and the sensations. Continue to adjust by moving a little bit further or backing off into the twist. And holding where you are for one more full deep breath. And now preparing to release. So slowly beginning on your next inhalation. Sliding the toes along the floor. As you begin to straighten that right leg along the floor, bringing the right foot next to the left. And then gently rolling onto the belly. Taking your time. And placing one hand on top of the other, resting the forehead on your hands. Give the hips a little wiggle. And now bending the knees, toes are reaching in the air. And slowly come into a windshield wiper motion, dropping the feet from side to side. Now you could continue the windshield wiper motion, or you could begin to circle the legs. And now see if you could challenge yourself and circle one leg in a clockwise direction and the other leg in a counterclockwise direction. And now reverse. Moving the other leg clockwise, opposite leg counterclockwise. Your brain loves that. And again, try reversing. And reverse again. And coming back to side windshield wiper. And straighten and release the legs, giving the hips a little wiggle from side to side. And now coming to stillness. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders and flip yourself over onto your back, preparing for relaxation, Shavasana. So as you make your way onto your back, if you have any props handy, you may wish to place a cushion or a pillow underneath the knees. You may wish to cover yourself with a blanket or put on any extra layers that you might have available as you begin to cool down. Straighten the legs. Relax the arms by your sides with the palms facing upward. See if you could bring a little bit more of the upper back and shoulders in contact with the floor. Keeping the back of the neck long. And once you find yourself situated, allowing the body to soften and relax. allowing your body to release all of its efforts as you rest in stillness on your back, feeling your weight on the floor connected to the earth. And we'll move into a couple of rounds of alternate nostril breathing variation. Keep the body still as you lie on the floor. Breathe in and out through the nose. And as you next inhale, bring your awareness to the tip of the left nostril. And as you inhale, move that awareness inside the left nasal passage to the bridge of the nose. Exhale, awareness moves down the right side of the nose to the right nostril. Inhale, awareness moves up the right side of the nose to the bridge of the nose. Exhaling, awareness moves down your left nasal passage. Again, inhaling left, bridge of the nose. Exhale, right. Inhaling right, bridge of the nose. Exhale, left. Repeat again on your own. And the next time you exhale, bringing the awareness to the left nostril, releasing this breathing technique. Receive the effects. Allow the breath to flow naturally. Allowing the body and mind to rest in stillness for a few more moments. Receiving and integrating the benefits of your practice. Gradually begin to deepen the breathing. Making some small movements with the fingers and the toes. Inviting awareness and sensation to return. Now bending one knee at a time, holding onto the knees, drawing them into your chest. And then gently rolling over onto your right side, coming into a fetal position. And gently pressing your hands into the earth, slowly making your way up to a seated position. Sitting tall with the eyes remaining closed, hands resting comfortably. Noticing how you feel now compared to the start of your practice. Bring the hands to prayer position in front of the heart, dropping the chin towards the chest. Silently repeat your affirmation to yourself. Receiving the power of these words and knowing that they are true. And I invite you to carry this affirmation with you into your day. Om Shanti, peace. May the peace in our hearts bring peace into the world. Softly allow the eyes to open, lifting the gaze. Namaste. I honor the light in you. Thank you for taking time to take care of yourself. I hope that you will join me again.